Why does my screen look so foggy? Hold on. There we go. Hey guys, happy Monday. How are you guys doing? It is beautiful Monday today. Today I'm having some buttered chicken, garlic chicken, white rice, and string beans. Yes. As you join, remember to double tap the screen to like the live and also hit the subscribe button to join the family. So today I want to talk about what is too much to share online. What is too much to share online? Yeah, there's a line, there's a limit. Welcome in as you join. Double tap the screen to like the live. So when it comes to online, are we sharing too much? The Light Gamer, welcome in. How are you? Thank you for joining. Welcome to Lunchtime Live. How is your Monday going so far? So, when it comes to online, it is very important that we are mindful of what we share. What do you think, Lightful Gamer? Do you have a channel? Cash Money? Who is that? I haven't seen you in a while because you have a you're one of the moderators. Welcome. Right, so today's topic is when it comes to streaming, because mostly these days people are doing a lot of live streaming, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're right here in front of me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. People are doing a lot of live sharing. So I just want to go over some things that people can be mindful of. Hello, Layla Rashidi, welcome in. How are you? Thank you for joining. And when it comes to oversharing, you know, there are information that we ought to keep private, and we ought to, you know, be mindful of sharing. So I just want to go over a few of those things. Let me see if I, hold on 1 second. My green screen. Okay. We have to be mindful of what we post. How much you share, protect your privacy and avoid potential risk. Generally, you should not share sensitive and personal information, private conversation, offensive comments, and confidential details. Oh, you said we were on the phone earlier. Yes, I know who it is. You want me to call your actual name? Yes, I do know who it is. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you coming on live. I was currently, well, I'm at work. Of course, I'm on my lunch break now. So yes, guys. Yes, D, I know who you are. Thank you. I can see your picture, Welcome in, Carol. So let's start with number one, sensitive personal information. Okay, so the first one is financial details. Avoid sharing how much money you have. I know you ever seen those rappers with the big stack of money like this, and they're showing off their money. Next day you hear they're robbed. They got robbed or something. Try to avoid, because mostly these days, as I said earlier, people are doing a lot of live streaming. Have you seen those people who on Twitch who stream live? You have people like myself on YouTube. I have to be mindful what I'm sharing in terms of where I work. I usually have my badge and stuff, so I have to take that off and make sure I don't show different places because I'm live streaming. Imagine, I remember when there was a rapper who actually got killed because they posted where they were and somebody found them and it ended badly, So I don't think I could use that word. Who got unalived? I'm sorry. Sorry, YouTube. Don't bet me. Don't bet me. But welcome in, Carol. How are you? Today I'm just sharing a few nuggets and just to help people who does videos, streams, lives, you name it. So avoid sharing financial details, credit cards information, loan numbers information. The next one is avoid sharing personal information. Or personal identification. So you want to avoid, hold on one second, sharing where you work, sharing where you live. Welcome in, Joshua. How are you? Thank you for joining the live. Thank you for being on here. We're just talking about being mindful of information that we share on live. Keep yourself as private as possible when it comes to online, and being mindful of the things that we share online, So we just mentioned financial information, and we're on personal identification. I know people do lives in front of their homes where you can see their home address, or they do it in front of a restaurant where they are, where they could see the actual name of the restaurant and certain things like that, which we have to be mindful of when we are live, especially live streaming. If you're doing a video recording, be mindful as well. A few different things. Okay. Don't share your social security number, passport information, insurance policy. Try to avoid all of that. All right, moving on to the next one. As I mentioned before, your contact information. Be careful of sharing your phone number, your address. Yeah. Okay, the next one is personal information, like your full name. Mm-hmm. Full name. Um, you have to separate personal email address from your personal address, email address, from your work email address. Like you guys will have my YouTube email address here. It's separate from my personal email address. My Instagram account is different from my YouTube Instagram account is different from my personal YouTube Instagram account. Stuff like that. Okay, moving along. Be careful, people hearing your sensitive conversations. Don't post private text messages. Don't post private conversations. Don't complain on social media. Telling your personal business on social media. Like a personal message that was meant between two people are now online. Be mindful of that. As I mentioned this one before, work information. Trade secret, keep things private as possible as you can. I know sometimes mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. You're so in the moment you forgot to hide your badge or hide your whatever. Be mindful of that. Offensive and inappropriate content. Everything follows you until you die. Be mindful of sharing inappropriate and offensive content. I know young people these days, they just do whatever. And they don't care. They show themselves fighting or doing this online. But not thinking that, oh, I might need a job in the future. And these things follow you. When people type in your name online, what are they seeing? What are they really seeing, you know? So, discrimination, hurtful things, don't say those things, inappropriate things. Make sure you're properly dressed all the time. Be modest. Be conscious. Be conscious of those things. Joshua, do you have any thing that you probably showed by accident and you were like, oh my gosh, did I really just show my this or my that? Joshua Gamer. Anybody in the chat? Have you accidentally shown something private online? For those of us who do live things, live streaming, live going live, and you're like, oh my goodness, did I just show my phone number? Did I leak my address? Did I have that ever happen to you? And what did you do? I can't see the chat, so let me take this off. Welcome in, welcome in. I see 3 people viewing. How are you guys doing? Double tap the screen to like the live and also hit the subscribe button. We're talking today about being mindful of the things that we share online, and how we can avoid sharing those things, and what to do when you accidentally share those things by accident. Because you can be so careful and then something happens, you know? You can be very careful, but things usually happen still. And yeah. Last but not least, let me go back to this. Let me see. Let me see what it says. Sorry. Other things to avoid. Travel plans. Travel plans consider. So avoid sharing travel plans, dates where you're going to be anywhere. You're going to a party, you're going to a graduation. Avoid sharing those things. Be mindful of that. Yeah. Have anybody shared any private information that they regret sharing online? Be careful. I know I've deleted lives where I've probably shared maybe my work information or something that indicate where I worked, and I had to delete that whole live. Or I've shared where I, not where I live, but like close to where I live, and I ended up deleting that live also, just to avoid somebody knowing where I live. Or Mhm. So just be mindful. Things can happen. We can be very careful, and something still happen. Um, I know Twitch users who do live streaming every day. They are so mindful of. I mean, because people know where they are. Like if they say, "Oh, I'm going to this convention or this thing or whatever," um, you have to be careful. You have to be conscious of those things. Anything else? So if this information helped you in any way, go ahead and share the information, share the live with someone. Tell them to be, even especially young people who are not aware that things they put online can affect them in the future. Things they put on, thank you for the hearts. Things you put online now can affect you in the future. Like I see some young people put that they're fighting, they're doing this, and yes, they're young right now, but eventually you are gonna need to get a job. You're gonna need to have a good reputation on social media too, because not only do you have job recruiters, job people who, they're looking at everything. They're looking at your Facebook, your Instagram, they're looking at your Twitch account, your YouTube account. Unless you are that popular where you don't need a job, but still having a good reputation is still matters, you know. So just be mindful of what we share online, and just be conscious of that. Does anybody want to say anything? Welcome in. For those of you just joining, please double tap the screen. Please hit the subscribe button. Okay, guys, it was a pleasure talking to you today on this beautiful Monday. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye.